IVM.
Hi, I'm Rohan Joshi, and on my podcast, the show about crypto, I've been having some pretty cool conversations with industry experts about what exactly cryptocurrency is and what makes it so exciting. If you haven't already, please check it out on the IVM Podcasts Network. Now, a quick shout out to my fellow crypto heads. We've got a listener survey going on, which will take not more than 10 minutes of your time to fill out. So please check the link in the description and help me out by filling it up. Don't forget to tune into a show about crypto on the IVM app and wherever you get your podcasts from.
Welcome to another fantastic episode of Football Shootball. This is number, I think, 22, 23. Who cares anymore? It's the middle of the season, almost the middle of the season. I think 20, 21 games have been played. You can't keep track. If you're following Arsenal, it's 20. If you're following City, it's 24. No one cares anymore. It's completely okay. I hope you're staying safe. This is one of those episodes where we will completely go off track. We'll focus on the one thing.
If you're following Burnley, you haven't started the season yet.
Yeah, correct. You're basically, I don't know if you watched Tenet. I have. I don't understand it. So if you understand it, you can tell us. But Burnley is basically going back in time.
If you say you understand it, you're lying. Anyone who replies to us saying that they understand it, no, they're lying. Do not believe them, Siva.
Correct. Unless like the director is sending us an email. Then let us know. We're available. We're available. Just ping us. You can come on the podcast if you need. We'll have you. Anyway, my name for this episode was going to be Billi 6 because that's what Zuma did, which is play on Billi 6. It's highly controversial. I'm not going to say it. I mean, I said it already, but it's in terrible taste. Please delete it from whatever software this is. Please delete it. But yeah, that happened.
What, from our minds we're supposed to remove the fact that you said this?
See, Karthik, Inception, which was, forming Tenet. So let's go back and discuss that. Okay, before I get into the crux of it, let me introduce my two fellow hosts. Okay, we'll call you hosts for now. We'll see if it changes to guest during the episode. But of course, I'm just a sutradhar. I'm just putting these amazing people together. I have literally no other role to play. I'm mediocre as mediocre gets. We have an expert from the world of podcasts. He sells podcasts for a living, and we are still here without a brand. Give it up for Gaurav Sapre, the face of the podcast.
Thank you, and thank you for the reward and the recognition of moving on from co-host to host. I feel an immense amount of gratitude that I have. Also on the West, did you guys watch the West Ham Watford?
Shut up.
He got kicked once, and all the crowd started shouting.
Okay, so the one thing that I can do is shut both of you up when I want to, because I get to lead it, so I get to decide what happens. The next person on the podcast is actually the whole and soul, the final word, the one and only. Also works at ESPN. So he's better than most of us anyway, but now he's also got better hair. Karthik Iyer.
Power corrupts. It does truly corrupt, because you're leading this episode, I think, after a long time, and you're behaving like a dictator. Sure.
Well, you sometimes get to vote for one, so I mean, it's completely okay. This is the least amount of power that has gone to my head. I will admit to that. But yeah, so let's get back to the fun stuff, which is actual football. Let's not talk about what else happened, because lots of other stuff happened. Amazing games at 1:15 in the night. I stay up religiously till 1, and then I decide I don't need this in my life. I have a dog who wakes me up at 5:30. But I have put together, and we are recording this on Thursday, the 10th of Feb. Arsenal play tonight, and they play Wolves. So it gives me at least that one opportunity. I don't have an excuse anymore to not stay up, so I will watch it.
Explain this to me, Shivram. I just read this tweet. Yeah, someone tweeted, and it sounded funny. I'm sure it is funny, but I didn't get the joke. It said, lifestyle brand Arsenal are set to play a football match. What does that mean?
So I'll give you
some new tracksuits or some.
So that's what we do, right? So in January, our transfer window was full of vintage kits. I don't know if you've seen them. You can buy them at your nearest Adidas retailer. Whenever Jaka gets a yellow, you can get a 10% discount. I don't know if you also saw this amazing thing that someone in the Arsenal digital team, I'm guessing because it was on the website. If you went to Arsenal Direct, which is their website where you can buy stuff, there was actually, if your basket was empty or your shopping cart was empty, it literally said your shopping cart is as empty as Tottenham Hotspur's cabinet. So I think that was fantastic. Someone should actually get a raise and maybe a complimentary vintage kit. I don't know if they hand them out. They hand them out on their social media channel all the time. So I hope that answers your question. But before I hear a peep out of you for the next minute, let's take a quick break.
Going for parties is just so frustrating these days. I mean, your mom will make it a point to come and tell you how her friend's son has secured a house for her, and your wife will also find out that her sister's husband is taking her on a foreign holiday, while you're wondering why you're the only one who doesn't have a plan for the damn future. That's why I never sleep well during the festive time. Unless... www.hdfclife.com. Select. Done. You know what? I think I'll sleep rather well after all. Live calm. With HDFC Life, click to protect life. The Income Plus option offers life cover and steady income stream, so you're always ready for any expenses that life throws at you. Basically, this plan lets you plan your expenses like you plan your vacations. It's that simple. Visit hdfclife.com to know more and for terms and conditions.
And we are back on I think this is the second out of 3 parts of this episode, divided by breaks, united by Kingfisher. Tell us if you watched any game, and then we'll go from there to decide what this episode will be like.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't start then. I hear it's you.
Yeah. I got up and I saw some highlights today.
Yes, that is okay, great. That counts. I think, see, in this fast-moving life, it's really hard to, find the time for yourself. And plus, mental health is really important. So, and mental health is sometimes directly correlated with sleep. And if you watch the United-Burnley game, sleep is a lot of what you would have gotten. Sapre, you would have at least caught up on United, showing up, not showing up, Ronaldo coming on at 68 minutes. What is happening at United, man, with Burnley?
Paul Pogba scoring a goal.
No one, Shivram, messaged on the group saying, football tonight, boys, woohoo. I was going to respond, but United Burnley happening. So just reduce the woohoo there, which is what happened. Others may get more sleep after watching the therapeutic game.
Therapeutic. It's like ASMR.
Yeah, it is ASMR. But for United fans, now we sleep well because we expect something like this to happen. Ronaldo ko birthday.
So you're technically an Arsenal fan. So now you're an Arsenal fan.
I am a fan of the lifestyle Arsenal thing. They got 11 mannequins on the pitch every week.
Yeah.
What they have. So
our most expensive model has been sold off to Barcelona, though. We'll get to that.
No, beautiful. No, I think people are being too harsh. It was some of the football was mesmerizing that Burnley played, of course.
We're still talking about that. Okay.
Because that's
using these big words.
No, there were chances in the first half. There were. It is the second half drop off that's the problem.
When Ronaldo entered, you're accusing Ronaldo of dropping the tempo between Burnley and United. Do you think that Ronaldo
having said that though, every time Ronaldo hasn't started, United have never taken 3 points. So
that serves them right because he was in my FPL team. That serves you right for not starting him. Alka Ragnik.
But he's got a double game week, so he'll start and he'll give an assist or something. So
that's why I have him in my team for next game week also. Hot damn. Okay, which is why we have you on this podcast. For your cutting edge human insight.
Rubbish. No, I
knew this is here for the football insight.
I don't care. You are stupid to take Ronaldo in your FPL team, as I was for the last so many game weeks.
I didn't actually pay money. United paid money. So who's the worst out of the lot?
Hey, but we won the battle of the egos. We didn't let him go to City. That is what the victory was. That is where the season started and ended.
So bragging mentality.
Ronaldo हमारे पास खेलता है. Bragging mentality. Trophy you can take. Screw you.
Achha.
So yeah, enough about.
So Ronaldo is the new Ballon d'Or, right?
He's always been the Ballon. इसको छुट्टी दिया था. Only Neymar gets छुट्टी. What all top stars get छुट्टी in around birthdays.
हाँ, तो Maguire. Pogba
का बर्थडे रोज आना चाहिए.
अरे that Wout Weghorst, right? एक तो amazing name, really hard to pronounce. He got that amazing assist. He sent, I saw this tweet. He sent Maguire back to Leicester in that one move.
Not the first one.
And then Leicester went on to go and lose in the FA Cup to Nottingham or whoever they lost to.
Hey, Nottingham Forest, they're a fantastic team. They just beat Arsenal before, so they can win.
Don't give him too much credit. I can't put German names. So Ayer would know all of that. No, he's not the first one.
He played for Netherlands in the Euros. You saw him. That was the team you were
Arey,
supporting.
Weghorst sounds like something you put between a bun, right?
Yeah.
He did play in the Euros. Don't you remember? He kept coming off the bench when Depay didn't do anything.
Look, you have a knack and the liking for remembering players, niche players
The
like this.
footballing inside. How many times do I have to repeat myself?
Netherlands. Like, I
Yeah,
thought you were
Arey,
following them.
he likes orange. Okay, he likes
I
orange.
like I like orange, sir.
Or
It's orange, I
depending on how you pronounce it. The last player he remembers is Arjen Robben because they both have a J in the name, so that's all he remembers. So the other mesmerizing game that happened, West Ham and Watford. West Ham won 1-0. The reason why I'm bringing this up is now we'll talk about West Ham. Zuma started, which is surprising given what happened. There was a video that showed up. He was actually mistreating his pet, which is the worst thing you can ever do, treating your pet, kicking it or whatever the hell he was doing. It's the worst thing. I think I don't
Kicking
have
and slapping.
Oh, slap. I couldn't watch the entire video.
Yes.
So that is just that just makes it
And
worse.
slapping.
My goodness. Why would someone, and that's inhuman. I mean, I can't even
In
begin
front
to.
of his son, and his brother was taking the video.
My goodness. Zuma has a son.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I have a lot more questions. Anyway, so Karthik, tell me, why do you think David Moyes thought it was a good idea to start him? And when he started, lovely chant from Watford, because he got hit and then he crumpled to the floor and then everyone at Watford started singing, now you know how your cat feels. I think there is karma and then it follows you. Karthik, tell us, why did he start?
Yeah, big mistake. I don't know. I can't get into Moyes' head. And Moyes has made some pretty good decisions of late regarding players who are troublemakers at West Ham over the past few seasons. So this was his first misstep, and it seems to have cost West Ham because I think they've lost a couple of sponsorships. Zuma himself has lost a couple of sponsorships, and all because they said that it was not because of the act. Well, it was because of the act, but it was more so because there was no punishment coming in from the club that we had to step in. So yeah, that was a misstep from West Ham.
Yeah, what's happening? This is so weird. This world we are living in is I don't know. I can't make head and tail of it. I'm sure Puma would have dropped.
It's pretty simple, right? You send him for his cats have been taken away. Yeah, that's done. But then you send him, you do the PR things. You send him for sensitivity training. You do that. And of course, he has a right to be rehabilitated back into the side. And it won't take that long as well. But to start him like the day on which or the day after which the video came out was just...
It's the worst decision.
Daft,
Antonio came out and said something, which is really weird. It sounded like whataboutery. Keep me honest here. He said people who have been found guilty of racist conduct in the past have gotten, like, they've meted out some sort of punishment, 8 games or whatever, and then they've come back. And Antonio asked the question, do you think this is worse than racism? So I think that's the worst, that is the worst equivalent to take. Like, one versus the other shouldn't be the discussion. They should be treated in isolation, but I'm keen to hear what Sapre has to say.
I didn't see the video because I couldn't watch it, but I thought he might not play, which was a very obvious decision anybody should have made. I don't know if that costed them the game or whatever, but I want to focus on the football for West Ham.
They won the game. They won the game.
They won.
They won 1-0. I think Bowen scored.
So that's a loss in your head, according to you.
West
Ham have lost.
Yeah. I know. No.
Serves them right. They only won 1-0.
I
This is what happens when you don't follow football on this podcast. Which is why you're a human insight. So let's keep repeating that so people can forgive you.
Midweek games are not your forte. Like the weekend, I don't bother with. You don't bother with the midweek. It's fine.
I'm not going to watch West Ham Watford. I'm sure I'm not going to watch
Burnley
West
versus
Ham.
United was unfortunately clashing, which led to this decision, which I support.
Yeah. So,
Newcastle Everton. Just the one thing I want to talk about: the Trippier goal. My goodness, what a delivery!
Trent
What a
Alexander
finish.
Trippier.
Are you giving Trent a compliment or are you ridiculing Trippier?
Look, I'm a United fan. I'm going to go back to the point that we were supposed to take him last summer, which didn't happen, and serves us right. A good player.
Oh, so this is the ego battle you lost.
Of course. What else? Is
Okay. ठीक है.
And this is
lovely
Newcastle
goal,
out of the relegation zone as well.
Oh, but have you seen the way Maxima is playing since he's been part of our so far? Saint Maxima. What is his name?
I thought he was talking about Proxima Centuries of Galaxy.
No. What?
In Avengers, there is that villain Proxima Knight or something. I'm like, was that her name? Thanos' friend?
What do you give me what do you give me shit about?
Just
not
say
knowing
ASM.
players
Just
and
say
not
ASM. Just say ASM. ASM.
Yeah.
Don't drop the R.
If you remove the R from it, that's a very good magazine as well. Just the
Correct.
Maxim part of it. It's a good lifestyle magazine.
It's a palindrome also. Starts with M and ends with M, and like no, it's not a palindrome actually.
No,
That's Sam, that will be correct. Malayalam. Okay, so let's keep moving through this spectacular episode. Not a lot of upsets. Some very obvious results. Man City beat Brentford. Mahrez with a penalty. KDB with another beautiful finish. Norwich Crystal Palace. Lovely game. No one cares. Tottenham Southampton. My goodness, before I get to Villa and Leeds, the firecracker of a game that was, I watched the extended highlights this morning, so I know in detail what happened. But before that, let's get to Tottenham and Southampton. People were talking about taking Kane, before in FPL. He didn't deliver jack. And not at Tottenham, but like, who's surprised?
He had a few chances for assists and stuff. They played well. It was very open
chances for assists is how many points you get for that?
2 assists get you 6 points.
Moral victory. Huh? Is that what we're getting to now? My God, how
it was it was an open game. He could have gotten a few points. Southampton had a lot of chances. I think far more than what Spurs would have expected. Now they're in the top 10 also. A fun game to watch. I really loved it.
Oh, so you watched it. Very good.
Yeah,
very cool. You are now at the pinnacle of this podcast. Whatever that means. Take it as a compliment, I hope. Karthik, what are Spurs' chances? You were talking about, or I think there was Sapre, but I'll hold you accountable for because you agreed. You said they still have a game in hand. They can easily go above Arsenal. They played the game. They were above the Arsenal and then they dropped.
So now they're going to have to go. They can go above United is going to be my stand because they're now behind Arsenal having played the same number of games. So yeah,
terrible.
Yeah. Hey,
what is happening?
I thought they were. He's been doing fine only. I think they were leading until 2-1. I thought they played well. I do not know what else went wrong. Southampton are good. Southampton are very, very.
Southampton are kind of a wildcard team. Like I've always liked Southampton, but sometimes they show up and sometimes they don't. Right? Even
and defensively, when they don't.
Yes, twice. Twice. But what happens is, I think sometimes their defense is very, very good in places. Yesterday, obviously, it wasn't because they let in 2 goals. But those 2 goals were also really, really good. So I wouldn't hold it against them. But Southampton are okay. They're 10th in the table. Did you expect that?
They're always a mid-table team. A little below the 10, but the teams at the bottom have really been terrible this year. Unless Burnley, we don't know if they win all the games in hand, they'll probably be first.
They don't have so many games also. There are 20 games played.
Norwich out of nowhere scored the first goal inside a minute, I guess, from Pookie. So, but the teams below them have been terrible. But otherwise, Southampton have always been like a mid-table, and they like to be there. They play some good football. One of the goals was an own goal, I think, from Bednarek. So
yeah, it was.
But there was good play from Spurs to bring the ball in, etc. Fun team to watch.
I have Mora in my FPL team. He actually should have gotten Højbjerg passed it in, and then Bednarek got it. But then Mora played a very, very good game, so I'm sticking with Mora. I was actually going to dump him, but we'll get to the
speaking
FPL
of
later.
FPL, but no. Speaking of it, it's a good segue. I want to ask both of y'all. Y'all would have heard and seen about Coutinho last night in Villa's thrilling 3-3 draw.
Oh my God, what a goal! But wait, before that,
assists,
yeah.
Sorry, no, please finish. I will cry later. Keep going.
He has more goals and assists put together, whatever, than Grealish, Sancho, and he's played 3 games. Do you all have him in your FPL side?
Of course.
Okay.
Wow.
Do.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that your question?
Yeah. I was because
okay. Let me say no. I don't have him.
No. That's. I was going to give you my hot tip. Hot tip of please take Coutinho.
I'll tell you my hot tip.
You've done a good research. You've ensured that everybody has Coutinho before making that announcement.
Yeah, that's a good tip. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Let me take it twice. I had Jacob Ramsey for the longest time. And then I dropped him because I wanted to get Maddison in for whatever mental reason. He has now delivered in back-to-back games. Yesterday he scored 2. And Coutinho and Ramsey seem to connect so well. Watkins is missing in some way. Ings also hasn't delivered after his move to Villa. But Villa also seem very industrious in general, although they did eventually end up drawing with Leeds. I think Villa is again a side to watch. I think Arsenal play Villa next, which I'm worried about.
Villa is the side with the best. The players have the best calves.
No, that is now City, na? Because one
City,
moved.
yeah.
Best calves and low socks. Okay, cool. So that was the game week. There are a couple of games still left. Leicester play Liverpool tonight. So Liverpool play Leicester tonight. Wolves play Arsenal. Quick prediction, because why not?
4-0 Liverpool.
Okay, the obvious. Arsenal Wolves.
0-0.
Wow, you think it's Burnley United or what? Karthik.
I'm going to say 0 for Wolves. 0-0 for Arsenal Wolves, yeah? This is not a
How
bad
dare
idea.
you? How dare you? There's Martinelli in that team, the spectacular Saka.
I think
Then
today
there's
is a
Ben
good day
White
to
on the
follow
back.
your
The
principles
only reason
of-
I'm saying 0-0
Ramsdale is
is
going
because
to
I have
score.
Ramsdale in goal on my team. That's the only reason I'm saying 0-0 for Arsenal. Unless
But
he
let
saves
Arsenal
2
score
penalties.
now. How does it change?
They're not going to score. You also know
Okay.
that. Yeah.
No, I know Arsenal will score. They are a fantastic team. I love them. I have a tattoo of them on my back. Karthik, Liverpool, Leicester.
Leicester are in dire straits. 4-0.
4-0. Wow,
5-0.
okay. Who is going to get those many goals?
Salah
Jota-
is back.
Salah's played some 300,000 minutes in some three hours or something.
Yeah, but this is his home ground. Now, this is where he'll play and score his goals.
Oh, this is referees listen to him also. So everything's
Oh,
it's a
wow. We're
conducive
taking
environment.
shots at Salah now.
I mean, if Salah would pass to Mane from time to time, that will be useful. Now I don't think he'll pass even more. Oh my God, why didn't I foresee this? Now Salah and Mane are not at talking terms, right?
Trent will score 1 assist 2 because he's also my captain.
Arey yaar, okay, chalo, we'll take a quick break and then we'll cry together for FPL. Okay.
$100. That's all it takes to begin your journey with Bitcoin and Ethereum. No, really. With CoinSwitch, you can start investing in over 100 cryptocurrencies with just 100 rupees. On top of that, there are zero charges for deposits and withdrawals, so you can trade, buy, sell, however and whenever you want. All of this, plus their extremely intuitive interface, makes CoinSwitch the perfect app for beginners in the crypto space. But don't take my word for it. Just download CoinSwitch for free and try it out for yourself. If you'd like more information on cryptocurrencies, tune into A Show About Crypto with me, Rohan Joshi, my new adventure on IVM Podcasts. CoinSwitch, kuch to badlega.
And we are back. FPL part of the podcast, which is the last part of the podcast, everyone's favorite, because after this it ends. This is, I think, now chip time in many ways. I'm still thinking through my strategy because I've had work and I have to also pay the bills. But with fantasy, which is more important, I haven't had enough time to go through it. But a lot of people are thinking of wildcarding for the double game week. Some people are thinking of free hitting. Have you guys even given it a thought? Karthik, I'm not even looking at you. Sapre.
Chip, definitely a chip, because I also have to change a lot of my players, so I'll have to take a chip. Otherwise, I don't want to do minus 24 again. It's just
fair enough. For the longest time, I thought you were just repeating yourself, but then you said minus 24. So that is a new piece of information you gave us. So appreciate that. So for these tips, you can actually go to the Football Shootball official league. Go to fantasy.premierleague.com. Go to fantasy. Type in 3HDRUY. That's 3HDRUY. You can join the league. I don't know where I am. I got 47 points till now. The worst part, okay, now my crying begins. So if you're still listening to us, please bear with us. It's just like 2-3 more minutes max. I captained a differential.
nice,
Edward for Crystal Palace. He
Excellent
was
choice.
originally not going to be in the TN. Then he was on the bench. Then he came at the 80th minute, did nothing, got 1 point. So I have 2 points.
Oh, God. But then if he was not there, who was your
Trent,
vice captain? Oh, so...
which I was looking forward
he could
to.
score a hat-trick today. I hope
Yeah,
he scores.
he will.
You asked me who was going to score the goals for Liverpool, right? There you go. You have your answer.
My God, the gleam in your eye and the shine on your head are just competing with the shorter fraud. Sapre, do you have any tips for anyone outside of the I will take a chip I will take insight?
I don't have any advisor. I'm in no position to give out advices anymore.
Literally,
Any
you're
new signings to take apart from Coutinho, of course. Any deadline day transfers?
I would
Any of
say
the
Jacob
Newcastle
Ramsey.
guys?
I would also say Wout Weghorst. Trippier, I think, is great. If you've not invested in Martinelli, now is the time. Because Arsenal are one striker less. Actually, they were less for a while, but Martinelli is great. Tierney is a great shout. But if you are considering the double game week, I think a lot of teams play good games, except I think Salah plays Leeds and Norwich. So, I mean, it's an obvious triple captain, but if you wildcard, then you can't play a triple captain. So, it's a tricky fixture unless I'm getting this completely wrong, which is also normal. We don't know everything, let's be honest. But yeah, that is my shout. I want to see if Salah starts tonight, first of all, because I haven't gotten him on. He's already increased in price. That son of a gun. So, I'm priced out by 0.1 million, right? So, that is like life. So we'll find out. Let's see if Mane carries on the form he had at AFCON.
Did you guys see the final? Did you guys see the final?
It was one of the worst matches you will watch. It was.
Are we still talking about Burnley United? It's been a while.
Yeah, it was a bad final, but great scenes at the end with Senegal. Absolutely great celebratory scenes at least. So that was fun, and Mane got to hit the winning penalty despite missing one in regulation time. Hit the win penalty.
Wait. Let's finish the episode on a high. Let's talk about someone who took a penalty and started instead of Odison Edouard. Zaha. Did you see the penalty he took against Norwich? My God, he was trying to hit the corner flag. I think the com said, I don't think I've seen anyone miss a penalty by that much distance. And then he's blaming the ground. No, Bruno. See, what I meant was, so that is like
height distance.
So not height. Bruno hit it like it went like Rosie. The first unmanned vision to the moon. Yeah. Right. So that's how far it went. But this was because this was really slow, right? And it spun to the side. So that is really hard to compete with as a loser. But he did score eventually, or before that he scored, whatever it is. But yeah, so that is the end of the podcast. Do you have any parting words to say? Let's start with our footballing expert, Karthik. I mean you.
Oh, is that me? I don't know. I'm just intrigued by the fact that all three of us have doors on the left-hand side of our shoulders. I've been focused on that too much over the last 5 minutes when you started talking about FPL.
That is great insight. Sapre, your human insight, I think Karthik's already coming over to your territory. He's trying to encroach. He's finding these little gems.
Yeah, he's coming.
When I say gems, I mean that comes in that packet, many colors. That's what I mean.
He's beating me hands down.
I just saw Zaha's penalty.
Wow, I thought you liked my gems joke.
Why are you sucking up to him, yeah?
Achha, people laughing at my joke is sucking up to me.
Of course. He tried to.
I'm not even in decision making. I think he rolled it somewhere for sure. Sapre, give us your. Chalo, now you switch it around. Give us your footballing insight.
No, I have no footballing insight. I want to know: are we going?
We know. I just give you that.
Are we going to Qatar for the World Cup?
Qatar is where? Where?
Or to start saving money.
No, my friends are going. I'm not. I already asked Karthik. He said he's not. Karan's not. But if you're interested, I have a fantastic group of friends who will absolutely use another person like you because very like-minded, very interested in alcohol, and also happen to like sports, especially Messi. So I think maybe you'll get along, maybe you won't because you, I guess, won that battle of egos with Ronaldo in United.
Yes,
but I'm sure you can go, and it's not that expensive from what I hear.
Very relative, no?
No, I don't know. I'm just trying to get you to go so you can leave us in peace for a bit.
Casemiro said, if you don't like Messi, do you even like football? Those are my
Is that an open question? He's expecting an answer? Like he hasn't reached out independently?
It's a statement.
Okay, on that high note, correct. You don't. Okay, on that high and mighty note, this was episode fill in the blank. in the post.
Is it Billi 6 or what?
Billi 6.
Billi 6.
Or do you want to call it Billi DLF maximum? I don't know what is appropriate.
You decided. Both are equally inappropriate. So.
Chalo, okay, lovely. Thank you. Bye.
See you guys.
So if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media handles. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I'm Fickleberry Hun on Twitter and Instagram. That's Huckleberry Finn, but Fickle.
If you want to reach out to me, I am Sapre on Twitter and Sapre on Instagram.
You can reach out to me at iRant, which is IYERANT on Twitter and Instagram. This is Football Shootball. Recognize.
Hey everybody, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus Says, film producer Siddharth Roy Kapoor joins Cyrus to talk about his latest web series, Rocket Boys. On Shunyavan, Shiladitya and I meet Aditya Sharma. He's the co-founder at The Soul Store. We talk to him about how the popular brand came to be and what their journey has been like. On a show about crypto, Rohan talks to Rahul Sanghi, co-founder at Tiger Feathers. They explore Web 3.0 and its advantages and disadvantages. On Postcards from Nowhere, Utsav weaves a fascinating story that connects Gujaratis, Uganda, and the last king of Scotland. And on Hanswani, we hear the story Bhoot Ka Kalakar. It explores the conflict between art and its artists. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Also, please do tell a friend. It really does help us when you spread the word about our podcast. And I'd also like to ask you if you could rate or recommend wherever you listen to our podcast. And speaking of where you listen to this show, if you're on an Android phone, do check out our new Android app. We have a brand new app with a brand new listening experience. Definitely check it out. I think you will enjoy it. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Bank of Baroda and CoinSwitch Kuber. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Do you wonder why China does the things that it does? Or want to know how we could improve online privacy? Or perhaps you're thinking about how we can kickstart India's economy? If you'd like to search for the answers to such questions, check out All Things Policy, a daily public policy podcast that covers everything from employment figures to aircraft carriers. Tune in from Monday to Friday for new episodes and fresh takes.